everybody. I want to go to you first, Giuseppe. What did you make tonight? We'll get onto the red card, but what did you make of Arsenal's performance tonight, my friend?
Yeah. Poor. Individual performances were just disgraceful, in my opinion. I think Saliba made a stupid mistake. I think that he'll learn from that. He next time he'll let it go. I think that a lot of people putting it on to Saliba, but I think Trossard has to put his head in shame for doing that. What a stupid thing to do, and what a hospital thing to do. But yeah, Saliba needs to be more intelligent. But he's a young defender, and this is what you're going to get. No matter how good you are as a young defender, these are the sort of situations that you're going to have to expect from him, because it's the inexperience factor. He just in the moment, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that there's players there that are covering. Maybe he thinks that it's near the halfway line. I don't know. But yeah, poor, man. I just think this international break seems to just be messing us up this year, man. Like, not only with the injuries and that in itself is screwing our team over, but I just feel like when we've been coming back from them, we've just seemed a bit sluggish and a bit off the boil, and the players are just a bit sloppy. I don't know, but like, the thing is, in the game, I feel like there was a couple decent performances in there from players. I thought Havertz had a decent game, and I thought Rice had a decent game. And I think people are going to laugh and say, like, how can you think they had a decent game? But I thought them two were actually good on the pitch. I agree with what you said before. I think Arteta's got to take some responsibility. I think Sterling was the wrong player to take off. I think you take off Trossard, not only because of the pass, and I think you punish him for that, but I just think in that game, when you're going to go into 10 men, you need that bit of pace. So I would have taken Trossard off. Thought Moreno was all right, but listen, Bournemouth, all credit to Bournemouth. They smelt blood when we went to 10 men, and they didn't give up. And then the manager smelt blood, brought on 3 attacking substitutions, and it changed the game for them. And they started doing a lot better. Now, Arsenal, Martinelli needs to score that goal. He scores that goal, maybe it's different. We just sit back, defend, and actually get out there with 3 points. But I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram and start talking about the league and stuff, because this is going to happen. This is going to happen to Man City. This is going to happen to Liverpool still. These sort of games, it is what it is. We've got to just go on to the next game, but that means that Liverpool's even more of a must-win now, and we've got to go and prove a point now against them. The only scare factor is, like, now we potentially go into that Liverpool game with no Saka, no Odegaard, no Saliba, and you're looking at 3 of arguably our most important players on the pitch not there. And this is what we have to deal with this season. But you have to deal with that if you want to win the league. And we go again. But listen, I think the manager's got to take responsibility today, and the players. I think Kivior come on. Mate, like, it's just, we're still in the game at 1-0, you know? You can get an equaliser, anything can happen, and you go and do that, and you set Raya up, and people will, I see a lot of the fans in the group chat saying, like, oh, Raya, I thought he was the best keeper and all that. Right? That's nothing to do with Raya. Ray had nothing else he could do. He got set up like a keeper. Not that he had a good game, but in that situation. But yeah, listen, man, all the rivals, you know what? Like, this is when you said about us only losing this away game this year, and the way we've only lost 1 game this season. The reason I tell Arsenal fans don't stress about it too much is when you just see how a lot of rival fans react, how they're loving it, how they're rubbing their hands together, how they're laughing, because this don't happen a lot. So we got to just take it on the chin.
Well, it's interesting, really. Again, like I say, I think Arsenal fans should be heavily critical of individual players tonight. Maybe the starting lineup. I think taking Raheem Sterling off was a mistake, because I think when you go down to 10 men against a team like Bournemouth, you need someone that can dribble past 2 or 3 players at times. And he took the one guy off that has the ability to do that. However, tonight isn't proof that anyone that was doubting Arteta is right. It's your first away defeat in 2024. I view this as a night where you can criticize, but people are going to start making overarching statements that I don't think you win your next 2 games and they'll be saying, oh, isn't my team great again? I just think that balance in the criticism is needed. But for a lot of people, some Arsenal fans, some non-Arsenal fans, you losing tonight is going to hit like crack. It really is. And they're going to get a buzz off this, which I find normal, I suppose, in 2024. But yeah, it's an interesting one for me. You know, you're not a bad team. You had a bad night, and it deserves to be criticized personally. Dio, from your point of view, what do you think went wrong tonight for Arsenal?
I just think it was a deserved loss. We deserved to lose that game. The way we played, we deserved to lose the game. There's no and I put it more on the players than on Arteta. because here's the thing: he's working with the players that he has. We have Odegaard out, we have Saka out, we have players out. So you're working with the players you have, and they have to prove a point on the pitch. So if they go out there and they stink up the place, then they deserve to lose. It's a different thing if we had players like Odegaard and Saka on the bench and he played these guys and then they did that. Then I'd be like, you know what? Hey, Arteta, I'm putting the blame on you. If you look at the way he set up, it's with who he had, and the fact that they went on the pitch, we looked like we weren't going to score from the very beginning. After the first 15 minutes, the way we were playing, I was just saying it's going to be a 0-0 game. We're going to end up, and then 30 minutes, here comes the red card. Now, is that a red card? Yes, it is. By the letter of the law, it is a red card. Nobody can argue that. You don't touch the player if you're the last man. You don't go near him. Basically, run away from him and go try and cover for your goalkeeper. Let your keeper run out at him. That's what you should be doing. Try to run past him and let your keeper run at him, and then you go cover for the goalkeeper. If he dribbles past the goalkeeper, then you become the last man again. Touching that player, Saliba deserved that red card. Now, of course, the pass was poor because everybody played poorly. Raya today, some misplaced passes. I don't know what was going on with them today. I'm not going to blame it on international break. Like I said, I'm not giving any player or Mikel Arteta any excuse this season. I think there was enough quality in that team to go and beat Bournemouth. And for the fact that they went there and they stunk up the place, it's on them. It's a zero. It's a loss. It's 3 points lost that we might regret. 3 points lost that we might regret. So it's a deserved loss. Like, we deserved it.
No,
Terry, can I just say one thing on the Arteta thing, please?
Yes, go on.
I'm in complete agreement with Dio. I don't think this game says anything about Mikel Arteta. This is completely 100% on individuals. And I'll tell you why. I think we've gotten to the stage now where every game is the manager's fault. And I don't do that myself. And I respect the fact that Dio doesn't do that. If you want to find a way to blame Mikel Arteta, fair. I respect it. It's your opinion. I'm not Kim Jong-un. Everyone can have their own opinion. This game is 80% on Saliba alone. And the reason why I say that is the following. It's Evan Nielsen. It's not Haaland, and it's not someone who's unbelievably quick like Adama Traore or Mo Salah that you have to chase around. It's stop it. It's literally Evan Nielsen. I think he could have caught up with him. And who says it's a guaranteed goal? And you've got David Raya in goal. And it's funny because when I have conversations with regarding the Arsenal centre-back partnership, I always say Saliba is the better partner. I always refer to Gabriel as the rash one and Saliba the more Rolls-Royce one. But Rolls-Royce doesn't make that mistake right there. And I'll be honest with you, Bournemouth, 11v11, do not win the game. They just simply don't. And it was individual errors. When players are making individual errors, I find it difficult. And I kept the same energy for Klopp last season. Terry can vouch. Everyone can vouch. When individual players make errors, I'm not going to sit up here and blame the manager. Martinelli, before it was 0-0. Still, no one scored anything. Martinelli looked at the Bournemouth keeper straight in the face and shot it at him. These are the moments where you need these players to step up. So, Arteta trusted Martinelli to bring him on, and Martinelli rewards his trust by missing a one-on-one. These players all made mistakes. Kivior gave the ball back he passed the ball back to a Bournemouth player. That's not Arteta took him out.
And Arteta took him out.
And even when Raya brought down Kluivert, that's not his fault either. Like, not everything is just managers. Today, a bunch of Arsenal individuals played like dog shit, and it resulted in them losing today. It's the individuals on the pitch. And if I'm saying mainly to blame, it's honestly, genuinely Saliba. And everyone here knows how highly I rate him. I think he's Arsenal's best centre-back. I think he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. But if I had to blame one individual, it's actually Saliba, not Arteta for me. So I agree completely with Dio on that point.
I get you on that. I've had a DM come through to me. And it says, Terry, you are absolutely waffling. Arsenal fans need to be fuming tonight and demand instant change if they want to win the league. Standards need to prevail. What I love about that is it's essentially saying that any Arsenal fan who just criticizes today in isolation but still believes is wrong, and their standards are killing the club. So whose standards were it that meant you've only lost one game away from home in 2024? Is it the people that are being a bit more positive, or the ones that have said you're crap this whole time? I love it. I do love hearing it. I love this. I don't quite get it these days. It's such a funny DM. That is from AFC Glenn _34. I hope you're well, Glenn. Hope you're good, brother. But no, I disagree. I think you can criticize your team today. I think you can rip into them for mistakes they made. But the idea that if you don't say sack the manager and sell half the squad today, you're killing your football club, I think's a little bit of a stretch. 1 defeat away from home in a calendar year. Brandon, obviously not happy with the result tonight.
Real quick before you just,
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I just, like I was saying before, when Hussam, thanks for jumping in, but I wanted to just finish by saying, and this ref thing today, the ref I think had a good game. Let's not do this ref. Let's not have this referee conversation. The conversation that we're having as per consistency is across the board for everybody. Like, if you're calling this a red card, which it is, you have to call it for everybody else. But let's not. The referee did nothing to Arsenal today. We played piss poor, so piss poor that even when the referee would try to help us, there was no way he could help us. You know how you can be so bad that the ref can't even...
Dio, listen, I completely agree with you, and as I've said, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be rude to people. If you're a little bit dim of mind, or you've got an agenda, you struggle to have critical thinking. You can believe it's a red card and believe the referee made the right decision, as you and I both do, but you can equally look at it and say, I've seen a number of other players not get sent off in that situation, and I want to understand why. I did it in the Man United game today. I get why De Ligt had to come off, letter of the law. But I saw 4 or 5 other incidents in the game where the referee didn't follow the letter of the law. The worst one, actually, thankfully, it wasn't a goal because it'd be massive controversy. He blew for a foul, Casemiro on the centre-back. There was no foul, but before Casemiro kicked the ball, he blew the whistle. Now, in attacking situations, the protocol and the letter of the law states you have to let the attack play out, then blow the whistle. And this is my problem when it comes to the referees and VAR, and everybody lets their own agendas or their tribalism get in the way. And it's so sad because that, for me, is a bigger issue for the game than the money or where the owners come from. It's a huge issue for the game, is that people can't compartmentalize specific situations from game and talk about them in isolation. And it pisses me off because I just think, especially people of our age group all sitting on this panel, collectively, we're about 500 years old. Like, we should be able to have that conversation. Brandon.